Alright folks, sorry for the delay on this video, but I have been playing catch up for the last week and a half, and that just means I gotta drive, eat, and sleep. Shower when you get a chance. Again, my name is Deming Sennett. I'm a lease purchase driver here at CRST. I own Sennett Transport Services, LLC. That is a brokering firm. Again, it is not connected to what I do here. I absolutely love being here at CRST. I love it so much that I actually brought my son over. If you've been following these videos, this morning, it's Saturday morning and I'm in Denton, Texas. Today is January 22nd, okay? This morning, I got my first negative comment on these, not even on the videos, just very simply somebody believes that CRST is a joke. I've responded back and I asked, how long ago did you work here? And it's true, CRST is not a good fit for everybody. Okay, I'm not going to go into bashing anybody. I just initially said in the first video I wasn't going to put up with any tit for tat stuff. This gentleman or lady, I don't know, I believe it's a gentleman, had one negative comment, and he wasn't really bashing, he's just giving his opinion, and that's fine. If he continues with it, I'll just delete his comments from the thread. But I did respond to him. You can see it in the comments section. It's true, this is not for everybody, but I will also say this. If you were here at CRST, say, 10 years ago, or even 6 years ago, CRST today is far different than it was 6 years ago. About 5 years ago, they went through a massive change in the head shed. In other words, the people in charge. So here's what I'll tell you. Some of the changes are good. Some, they do focus very heavily on their expedited or their dry van side, and I understand that. It's their company. They can run it how they want. The benefit to me on that, just so you know, is they leave the flatbed side alone, and we do, pretty much what we want to do. And as a lease purchase operator here, you are responsible for getting your own loads. Nobody's, hounding you to pick up a load in point A and be at point B at such and such time. You do all your own dispatching. There are agents that will follow you on their computers, and if they see you coming into an area, they may give you a call and say, hey, so-and-so, I've got a load over here in Denton, Texas, and you're dropping off there. Would you be interested in that load? Do you want a load today or tomorrow? And at that point, you get the load information, and you make a decision whether you want it, and it's up to you whether you pick it up that day or the next day. Pretty simple stuff. But I'm going to touch on three things pretty quickly, and forgive me, Saturday has been a long day. I got up early this morning. My son is here with me. We both grabbed loads from Arizona coming into Denton, so we're spending the weekend hanging out together, and we went to play golf today. And yeah, we're going to play golf again tomorrow. So I'm an old man. I'm beat up. I'm a little tired today. So I'm going to make sure I get some good sleep, because he plays a lot better than I do, and I just, I can't have him beat me too bad. But anyways, three subjects I'm going to cover here are going to be maintenance, income potential, and why I do this, okay? The reason I'm telling you why I do this is because if any of it resonates with you, you might want to think about sticking around or coming over here, because there's very specific reasons I do what I do here, why I am part of this lease purchase program, and why I enjoy it so much. Okay. So far we've covered quite a few areas. We've covered the lease purchase itself, understanding your pay and your contract, getting loads, agents versus brokers, and how to run or how I run. Okay. I hope some of that's been helpful. This is going to be the last video in this series. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop posting videos. I'm going to keep the wheels spinning up here. They're a little rusty, but we'll get some WD in there and try and loosen them up a little bit. And I'm going to try and put videos out every week or every 2 weeks to help out wherever I can, to possibly, if there's a good question that comes up, or somebody asks a question that I think everybody could benefit from, I may answer that question in a video. Other than that, I'll be thinking of things offhandedly that I do out here to make my life a little better out here, make it more enjoyable, and the things that keep me going every day. So, maintenance, look, they're taking money per mile for your maintenance. I'm not sure how much they're taking from you. I know on my case, because of when I was hired here, I'm paying 15 cents a mile into my maintenance fund. And that goes into, it's not actually an escrow fund, it actually goes into a company sludge fund. So when I break down or when I need something, it's there. I will tell you this, because my son did pay his truck off. They were able to give him his maintenance fund back in portion. In other words, he had used part of it. There was still a little bit left over. So they do keep track of how much you as an individual truck and driver put into it. And he did get a comp check or money loaded onto his comp data card to cover that. In other words, the excess, what he hadn't spent throughout the year and up to the date that he finished paying off the truck, all that was originally going into a company fund, but they did know how much he put in, and they did give it back to him on his comp data card. So don't think it's just going to waste. With that said, if you've got kind of a long-term lease, like a 3-year lease here, or a 3.5-year lease, don't sweat it. Really, don't sweat it. Here's what I'm going to tell you. They're taking money per mile. I don't know whether it's 20 cents or I've heard it go as high as 26 cents, but I've never seen that on paper. Here's what I will tell you. At least 2 to 3 times a week, you need to be going over that truck, top to bottom, front to back, everything. I mean, you know, not just a pre-trip or a post-trip. I mean an extensive pre-trip or post-trip. I would say pre-trip, that way everything kind of cools down. You can see if you've got some leaks in there. Post-trip, you're really not going to see that much. But at least twice a week, I would say. Go over that truck like a madman or a madwoman, just like you were inspecting it to buy it. Okay? Anything that you find wrong, anything, get it fixed. They're taking the money from you and putting it into the maintenance account anyways. Use it. Make use of it. Okay? That doesn't mean if you don't like the way your headlights look or you don't like the way something looks on your truck, you can't make any structural changes to the trucks under the contract. But you can get things fixed. Okay? Make use of it. You know, they're taking it. Use it. Okay, I can't emphasize that enough. And yes, it's frustrating sometimes that they take that money from you, but they're not keeping it, for starters. And number two, if you use it as often as you can to get things fixed, even if it's minor things, you don't feel as bad giving that money in because you know you're getting it back out in product or in service. Okay? So make use of it. In general, over the maintenance, look, I used to teach this at secondary schools. I used to teach people, A, how to get their CDLs, B, how to be a flatbed driver, and I used to work with a lot of the big companies. Okay, our school used to actually deal with Pam and Swift and Schneider. You know, when you step into their trucks, you're stepping into newer trucks as a company driver. And they usually handle all the maintenance for you, but it doesn't mean you don't have to do pre-trips and post-trips. One of the things I used to emphasize to drivers, and there is somebody on here who subscribed to this that was a student at one of the schools that I teached at, one of them, okay? That was just one of the schools that I taught at. So, do your pre-trips, okay? Do your pre-trips in the morning or whenever you're going to start your day. I know it may be cold out, it may be raining, it may be snowing, but it's better to find it in the parking lot, parked, than when you're getting on the interstate and you realize you have a problem. Because now you've left the truck stop, you may only be a quarter to a half mile away from the truck stop, but you're on the damn shoulder of the road. And that's an expensive service call, okay? A lot of these service calls aren't charging by the mile, they're charging by the service call. So that $455 service call that you may get if you're broke down 50 miles from a truck stop, it's probably going to be the same price you're paying for that half-mile service call, okay? So do the pre-trips in the morning. Get out there and get your hands on the trucks. CRST just had this thing going on where they were wanting people to send in videos of them doing pre-trips and trying to emphasize and show the best way to do pre-trips. I am actually going to have a friend of mine that I used to work with do the pre-trips as we used to teach them in the state of Missouri to pass your CDL test, okay? If you really don't understand what that means, Missouri has one of the harder pre-trip courses or tests. There's an exhausting number of points to check, and you need to know them all, okay? And you need to be able to point them out and show them what you're doing. So I'm going to have a friend of mine that I used to teach with, and we used to teach this pre-trip to the students, and they had to pass it in order to be able to go even test. Okay, so they had to pass it with the instructors just to be eligible to go test. The reason I didn't send that in earlier is because CRST had their program going on where they wanted drivers to send in pre-trips, and I really did not think it was fair, being an actual state certified instructor and a secondary school instructor on this, to throw my hat into the ring. Okay, that's not really fair to the people that didn't have to learn it as intensely as I did, and those of us that teach it. There's a difference between learning it to pass it and learning it to teach it. It can be very exhausting getting to the point where you can teach it. You can actually recite the damn thing backwards sometimes. If it's just, you really have to know it very intensely. And I didn't think it was fair because they were offering like a $1,500 bonus or something like that for the best video. And I don't think it's fair for someone like me, with my length of time doing this, my length of time instructing, and the amount of times I've had to teach the pre-trip, to get on here, throw a video in, and obviously it's going to be very in-depth. And if you're in a corporate office and you don't know any better and you don't know my background, you're going to go, wow, holy cow, this guy knows this. That's our winner. And that's not fair to everybody else. And I'm not bragging in any way, folks. Pre-trip is just, it's my thing. Pre-trip and post-trip, and I'm going to add one more in there. But I am going to get a friend of mine that I used to work with, and we are going to make one of those videos on this channel. So, with that said, let's be real clear about this. Every morning or every time you are going to start your clock, do a pre-trip. Okay, there are some days, your truck's, yesterday it ran in top condition, it's great, you did a post-trip, you didn't see any issues. Well, at a minimum, folks, get out there, open up that hood, check all your lights every day. Electrical issues on a truck are, the joke about them is, if something goes out electrical on your truck, you're chasing a ghost. You simply just have to get it into a shop. We do not have the technologies out here to chase a lot of these problems down, okay? Some of you that consider yourself super truckers and highway heroes and all that, you may have scanners and all sorts of stuff like that. You may be able to do that, but your average driver does not. So that's who I'm speaking to here. if you've got all the tools and amenities and things that you need to fix every damn thing on your truck, kudos to you. That's great. A lot of us don't have it. So, do your pre-trip before you start your day. And whether you start in the morning, evening, or you run at night, look everything over. Okay? If something doesn't look right, put your hands on it. There's soap and water somewhere so you can wash off the grease. At the end of every day, okay, I normally idle my truck for about 15 to 30 minutes after I park. Then I shut it off, and I don't care how cold it is. I've had the heat going all day. Turn the damn truck off. Let all the fluids settle for about 30 to 45 minutes. You're not going to freeze out in that amount of time. And if you think it's that damn cold, get out of your truck, go inside the truck stop. Or if you're in a rest area, go inside the damn bathroom for 30 minutes, okay? Then come out. Again, take a look around your truck, particularly underneath, okay? Leave your lights on, turn your lights back on, put your four-ways back on, take another quick walk around. Make sure nothing went out while you were driving, okay? Then you're pretty much done for the day. I am going to add one more deal on the maintenance, and this is just me because we already mentioned how I run. But when I do my 30-minute break, I do an unofficial en-route inspection. In other words, I'm grabbing a soda or a cup of coffee, I'm out of my truck, I'm walking laps, I'm just doing something to get the blood flowing. Well, if you ever sit back and watch me from a distance on that, you're going to see that I actually circle this truck probably 8 or 9 times. And every time I go around, I'm looking in different areas. And the reason I go around so many times is because, on one trip around, I'm looking at lights, my rub rails, my deck, all sorts of stuff. Next time I go around, I'm looking at tires and rims. And next time I go around, I'm looking at brake chambers and hoses and things like that. I just go around so many times on that en-route inspection. Like I said, it's anywhere from 5 to 10 times I walk around that truck. But I've got 30 minutes to kill. So that's what I do. And that's really all I'm going to say on the maintenance, folks. Make sure you're doing your pre-trips. Don't just put it into the computer saying that you did it. You will pay for that at some point. Make sure you're doing at least a half-hearted post-trip. I know you're tired at the end of the day, but let your truck run, let everything kind of settle down a little bit for about 15, 20 minutes. Turn it off, give it about 30 minutes, go inside, get some coffee, get something to drink, come back out, and then do a halfway decent walk around on your truck, okay? During the middle of the day, try and get that en-route inspection done. Walk around, gives you a good time. You're supposed to be doing load checks anyways, so check your straps, your chains. If you got dunnage under the load, take a look at the dunnage. Did that slip? Did it slide? What happened to it? Okay, and I'm going to leave you all alone about maintenance from here on out. If you have questions about it, hit me up. I'll see what I can answer for you. We're all CDL holders here. We should know how to do a pre-trip. So, income potential. Look, income potential here is up to you. Okay? If you have a driver manager, you are getting 70% of the load. Any additionals like tarping or stop pay, that's all yours. The fuel surcharge is yours. You have the line haul, you're getting 70% of that. If you're not using a driver manager, you're getting 75% of it, plus the fuel surcharge, plus the additionals, okay? After that, they're taking out your fuel. Like Tuesdays, they take out your truck payments and all that stuff. But if you've got that one covered, you've dropped a load on Monday, and you've picked up again on Monday, that load you dropped on Monday is going to cover Tuesday's expenses, or it should. And that second trip the trip that you picked up on Monday, that should be all profit except for fuel and the mileage that you're being charged for. So your income potential here, and this is just kind of offhandedly, if you're pulling approximately, I'll say $5,000 gross in freight, you're probably going to see a check somewhere is between 1,200 to 1,800, depending on the distances and what you're losing in fuel and your mileage. I usually try to push for a little more than that. Like I said, I try and get in 3 trips in a week. So the income potential here is actually pretty good. But let's say you stick to that 5,000 a week as your target, and you should always have a target. Whether it's, I'm going to pull $3,000 worth of freight, I'm going to pull 5, 7, whatever. Have a target and shoot for it. Okay. Like I said, that's $5,000 gross for the week. Add that up at the end of the month, that's $20,000 gross. You're probably looking at about $7,000 to $8,000 for the month. Okay, so and that's not too bad, folks. That's the way things are right now with the freight rates the way they are right now, and it's a little squirrely right now. Some companies are getting better rates than we are, and I've told you how to work around that. You can use our agents and brokers, or you can get on truckstop.com and find approved brokers on there and use them as well. Sometimes they pay better. Sometimes ours pay better. But set a goal for yourself, okay? So, income potential here, let's look at that. I mean, if you're running $5,000 a week in freight, gross, and $20,000 a month, gross, you're looking at between $7,000 and $8,000 a month take home, okay? Do the math. That's about $84,000 a year take home, okay? Not a bad year. You can do more, okay? Believe me when I tell you that. My son has done astronomical here. He's done great. He's actually well over the 200,000 mark for last year. His take home, he was bumping on almost 100 grand. So yeah, the income potential is here, but it's up to you. Hence the reason I say CRST is not for everybody. And if you think you're getting robbed, if you think the numbers are wrong, call payroll and settlements. Talk to them, okay? Have them break it down for you. You may need to swing through, Alabama or Cedar Rapids and sit down with somebody and have them go over a settlement with you so you understand it clearly. I am going to try and redo these videos in a more professional format. So if you start seeing a more professional format of these videos, they're going to be more informative because they're going to be in a better setting than me sitting in the driver's seat in a truck stop somewhere. I'm not going to apologize for that. I love what I do, and I'm out here doing it, and I'm just trying to share some information. So income potential, look, it's really up to you. And those of you that are saying, oh, well, 200 grand a year gross, and you're only making 70 to 90,000, holy shit, I know owner operators that are making, 150,000 a year, but yeah, they may be. Odds are, though, I'll go toe to toe with you on it. Odds are they're probably in a heavy haul or extreme heavy or extreme wide loads. Okay, those do pay a lot better. Once you've been here at CRST for a while, you will have the opportunity to pull some oversized loads. Of course, they're going to pay better. And you're a damn fool if you don't understand that. So if you're going to get on here and challenge me and say, well, my buddy made $350,000 last year. Yeah, odds are he's probably pulling an RGN or, some sort of heavy-duty lowboy with wide loads and heavy loads. And if he's not, I'm going to call bullshit, and I want to see the paperwork. Okay? Because that would mean he averaged about $450 a mile on every mile he pulled for the year. And that can happen. It can. But it's not very likely. Okay? So, with that said, I'm not going to go tit for tat with anybody on that. Yeah, if you can't live on, 70 to 90,000 a year, working hard, or just working, actually, I shouldn't say hard, I don't know what to tell you. In my book, you're living way too extravagant. And if you're sending that kind of money home, more power to you. I'm glad you're taking that good care of your family, but you're out here withering away, and you're not going to enjoy that money. By the time you're ready to go home, you're going to have limited time left to spend and enjoy that money. But kudos to you for taking care of your family and treating them so well. As a Christian husband and father, I think that's a great thing. I always put my family and my household before myself out here, and luckily I have a wife that reciprocates that, and she makes an extra effort to make sure I have everything I need out here. So, last subject. Why do I do this? Okay, and I'm not telling you or this is why you should be doing this. I'm telling you why I do this. Give me a second. I can't show you the brand of soda because, that's against the law. Anyways, the reason I do this, the freedom I have here. Okay? As a CRST lease purchase driver, I've already explained to you the numbers, okay? What I pay here for this truck and every week for this truck is about the same as to what I would pay if I went out and purchased a truck, a used truck, and a trailer, and I had to pay my insurance, my 2290s, my IFTA, all that stuff that we have to pay. The cost here is comparable. It's for me, it's actually lower than what I used to pay. It's $400 a week less than what I used to pay for my trucks. And for those of you that want to question that, you can look it up, folks. Senate Transport and Logistics was my old company. It's still listed as it existed, but it isn't in operation anymore. I had 8 trucks, folks, and I know what it costs to run these trucks. I know what it costs per truck per month, okay? What's acceptable to pay and what's not acceptable to pay to me. Some guys, look, more power to them. If you're going to go out and you're going to buy a brand new Peterbilt or even a brand new Freightliner or Kenworth or something, that's going to be a pretty heavy nut at the end of the month, okay? So you better be putting that money back every week, or you better be paying that bill every week. Here, I'm paying very comparable to what I used to pay for my truck, my trailer, my insurance, and all that I used to pay on my own trucks. I'm very close to that here. I'm actually paying a little less here per week than I used to pay. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get over here, I'm going to run this lease purchase for a while, put some money back, I'm going to go out and buy a truck, you can do that. Just make sure you get a really good interest rate and make sure you're getting a really good truck at a really good price. Okay, right now, a lot of trucks are overpriced, extremely overpriced. Most of these dealers, in my opinion, they should be hit in the face with a baseball bat. They're an insult to the industry. Okay, it's a supply and demand kind of game, and they're really taking advantage of what's going on out here right now. But I'm not going to get into that. That's nonsense. So the lease purchase here, again, the weekly rates minus the fuel, just for your fixed expenses, is very comparable to what you would be paying out there. Okay, the freedom that I have here, like I said, I have to book my loads. If I don't book a load Monday morning, okay, I'm going to sit here in Denton until I either run out of money, starve to death, or just drop dead of a heart attack, or I get tired of it and go home. So it's me. I have to make this work. I have to get the loads. I've got to get on the load board or truckstop.com's load board, and I got to find loads, okay? That's part of the freedom, is having that responsibility, okay? If you have a driver manager, they can help you find loads, and that's great. If you're not comfortable digging up your own loads, and you're not sure how to read the load board correctly, and you're not sure which trips are going to be good for you and which aren't, you can get a hold of operations, and my truck number is 506142. Give them your information, tell them to send that information to the driver of this truck, and I will reach out to you and help you run. I will piggyback with you for a week or two if you want. I'll piggyback with you for 1 load, 2 loads, whatever. I did that with my son when he got here. You know, if you need to, use the driver manager to get you pointed in the right direction. Don't be ashamed of that. You know, a lot of these guys talking smack out here, excuse my language, talking shit, a lot of them are coming over here from being company drivers, and they're used to having somebody either on the Qualcomm or on the phone telling them what to do, where to go, when to be there. Okay? And then they get over here, and all of a sudden CRST sucks. They wanted the freedom, well, now they got it, and to them it sucks because nobody's telling them where to go or what to do. Well, that's what you came over here for. So now you're mad? Think about it, okay? It's just ridiculous. Those are children, and I don't care if you're 22 or 52. If that's you, you're being a child. You came over for the freedom to run by yourself and run for yourself, and now they're giving you the opportunity to do it, and you're going to cry about it. No, my feelings are hurt. You know what? You have to like my opinion on it. I don't give a shit. That's just the way it is. Why I do this is the freedom of it. I choose my loads. I can have an agent call me and say, hey, I've got this load, it's going over here, blah, 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 and I ask him a couple of questions. How much does it weigh? Does it have to be tarped? All these things matter to me. I haven't taken a tarp load in, I don't know, since I got back in October. My son hasn't tarped a load in, I'd say at least 6 months. We just tell the agents when they say, we ask, is it a tarp load? We don't take it. Some agents are okay with that. You will have others here. And if you happen to be one of those agents on here, you're a CRST agent watching this, if you're one of those agents that calls me and says, hey, I've got this load, and you give me all the specifics on it, and I tell you, no thank you, I'm not interested in it, and then you start giving me a hard time, telling me I'm going to fail, you're not going to make it here because you're not taking the loads that you need to be taking. Real simple, fuck you. Okay? I run this business. This is my business. This is my truck. Okay? You don't have to like me. Don't call me again to pull another load for you. I don't care. Thousands and thousands of other agents and brokers out there. Okay? So if you're an agent here, you call a driver and you ask them to take a load and they turn it down, don't get your feelings hurt like a little child. Just deal with it. That driver doesn't want that load. Move on. Make another phone call. Okay? That's simple. Sorry about that. That was my little temper tantrum for the week. That hasn't happened to me in a while, but it has happened. And I can tell you this. The day I meet those agents face to face, I will lose my job here at CRST because we're going to tie up. I'm that kind of guy. And no, that's not me being a tough guy. That's just me. I hold a grudge. I'm mean like that. So the freedom here to go where I want, when I want, pulling the loads that I want most of the time. If I run myself into a bad area, I have to take a bad load to get out of it. That's the reality of this industry. Okay? But I will tell you this. I had a holiday where I got to Oklahoma City Terminal to get some work done on the truck 2 days before the holiday. They took an extra day to work on my truck. I deadheaded home from Oklahoma City down to Stratford or Springfield, Missouri to go home. I deadheaded there on my own. I've deadheaded home from Hutchinson to Springfield, Missouri. Here's the deal, folks. I'm willing to pay that fuel. I have to pay for that fuel. And it doesn't matter if I was a lease operator or if I was an owner operator. I have to pay for that fuel. So, that's my call. Most of the time, I try and deliver within 200 miles of where I live. So it's an inexpensive day to head home. Sometimes I can get loads right into Springfield or right into the, you know, surrounding areas. But that's part of the freedom, okay? With that said, that means I can go home whenever I want to. Now, we have some drivers here, and I am not one of them, but there are drivers here that run weekly. In other words, they leave out on Sunday night or Monday morning, they run for the week, they're home by Friday night, Saturday morning. Spend a night or two at home, back out they go. There are people here doing that, okay? I'm just not that guy. You know, I run out here. I have target numbers in my head on how much I need to make, how much I want to make, how much I want in the bank by the time I go home. And those are my markers. When I hit that number, I'm headed home. Okay? That's just me. So those are the reasons I do this. Okay? And the other one that I'll touch on, this may seem kind of silly to you, but I said 36 minutes ago, about 34 minutes ago, sorry for the length of this, that I was out playing golf today. I keep my golf clubs, my golf shoes, and at least 2 sets of golf attire on this truck. And I'm going to play golf again tomorrow. So, as I travel around the country and I drop off somewheres, okay, I don't have to get under that next load right away. That's up to me. If you know, I'm trying to play catch up or I really need money bad, then yeah, I'm going to grab something and go. There are times I just don't feel like it, so I will find a truck stop, I will look at my phone, I will find a golf course nearby, and I may sit for the night and get up the next morning and grab an Uber and off I go to the golf course. And I can do that all over the country. Okay? That's my choice. Okay? So you do have the opportunity to see and do a little more out here as a lease purchase driver. Just don't let it hurt you financially. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, your family, and your truck and your financial responsibilities. And if staying somewhere as an extra day is going to hurt you financially, then by God, get under a load and get moving. But if you've got the money and you've got the time, go do something. Grab an Uber. Uber and Lyft are all over the nation. You know? So, those are the reasons I do it. As a matter of fact, that's a question I'd like to pose to the viewers out there. You know, if you watch this video and you make it all the way to the end of it, God bless you for that. But in the comments, you know, tell me some of the things that you folks like to do when you're out here. If you have a day to sit, or you're doing your 34-hour, or you just decide you want to take 2 days off somewhere. You know, what are the things you guys like to do? That'll be in one of my upcoming videos. You know, I'm going to try and give you all some ways to kind of relax out here a little bit more, where you don't always feel like you're under the gun. You know, as a company driver, you always feel like, you know, it's all about the time. I gotta go. Because somebody's always pushing you. You know, here it's a lot different. You can relax, get the job done, do it safely and efficiently, and you can make money at it. And just remember, you know, I keep trying to tell these, you know, we're OTR drivers. What that means, folks, is for us, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We're not running these day-to-day, these daily runs where, you know, you have, you know, you get loaded in the morning, you get 17 drop-offs or 6 drop-offs, and you've got, you know, a few hours to do it in. We're running coast to coast, folks. And, you know, for us, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Keep that in mind. Learn to relax a little more when you're driving. Don't be in such a rush all the time. Okay, you're still going to pull good miles. Just use the truck stops for what they're intended for. Get fuel, get food, sleep there, shower there, use the bathrooms, but don't camp out there. Okay, if you're doing a 34-hour, obviously camp out. That's, you know, that's the idea. You know, stay at the truck stop. What I'm saying is, during the day, run how you run, but keep that left door closed, keep those wheels moving, and get the work done so that you have time at the end of the day to relax a little more. So, with that said, I'm not sure of the topic of the next video. I'll give it some thought. If any of you have any suggestions or questions that might make good videos, send them in the comment section. Again, last time I'm going to say this on this series of videos. If your comments are about hate and discontent, I'm not going to go toe-to-toe with you on this. I've been doing it too long, and I know it's working. If it's not working for you, rather than hate and discontent, ask some questions. Ask to get in touch with people that can get you to where you need to be. If you're just coming on here with, stupid tit-for-tat questions, and, you're what I call sharpshooting, or trying to just put the company down, or maybe you just don't like me. I don't care if you like me or not. I hope you do. I hope we get a chance to meet somewhere and have a cup of coffee, maybe grab a meal together. That would be great with me. But if you're just getting out here for hate and discontent, I'm not even going to give it the time. If you have a comment like you don't like CRST, that's fine. You can send that in there. That's not to me. That's not hate and discontent. That's your opinion. When you start getting vulgar and rude and out of line, I'll let you know. I'll send you a response in the comments that your opinion really isn't appreciated, and I'm going to leave this up for 72 hours, and then I'm going to delete these comments. Something like that. But if you have honest, valid questions, or if you just have an honest, one-liner opinion of, hey, CRST sucks, I don't like them, I'm okay with that. It's not a good fit for everybody. Just like Swift isn't a good fit for everybody, Schneider's not a good fit for everybody, E.W. Wiley's not a good fit for everybody, Maverick's not a good fit for everybody. Everybody's got their own niche, and you've got to find the one that fits you best. So, with that said, all I can say is God bless, stay safe, and if you have any questions, again, my truck number is 506-142. Get a hold of operations, give them your information, and have them send your information to me. And I'll reach out to you and try and answer any questions privately that you have that you don't want to ask over the comment sections. So, until then, stay safe. I hope these videos are helping out, and I'm going to try and stay consistent. Got a lot going on, as usual, trying to run this business and the business at home. So, forgive me if there's delays, but I wear a lot of hats, doing a lot of things. Speaking of E.W. Wiley, he's pulling into the truck stop right now. Congratulations. But y'all stay safe, and there's nobody I know, but stay safe, and send your comments and questions. I look forward to reading them. I look forward to getting some more videos out here. So if you've got questions, you can give me topics for videos. Not saying I know everything, but here's what I can tell you as a former senior NCO in the United States military. If I do not know the answer, I will find you the answer. That I can guarantee you. So, but I do have one for y'all before you get off of here. My constant question that I can never get answered anywhere in the country, from government officials all the way down to drivers and homeless people and whoever else. Why do we drive on a parkway and park in a driveway? That makes no sense. God bless. Have a good night.